Hey everyone, how are we today? Just doing an all signs reading today. Today we're just going to do a quick whatever sort of wants to come out, important messages for you at this time. Okay, so I will just let everyone know that if you do leave a comment on one of my videos, you will go in the draw for a free personal reading. We'll be drawing that really soon, guys, when we hit our first 100 subscribers. So make sure you do like and subscribe to the channel and keep updated about that. Today we're going to be using the lenormand. Like I said, just doing little simple reads today, seeing what's important for you to sort of know at this time. Okay, so starting off with Aries. How are we today, Aries? What is most important for Aries to know at this time? What does Aries need to know at this time? Timeless reading, guys. So whatever time you do come across this video, what does Aries need to know, please? Okay, Aries, we have the scythe energy coming through, followed by the cross and then the key. Okay, so we're headed to success. The key is all about success. So we're definitely on the way to some sort of success. But the answer sort of lays with you at this time, Aries, because we do start off with that scythe energy. So that tells us we need to break away from the things that are not serving us and make those sudden, changes. It feels like an impulsive decision to make a change, a big change in your life, cut something out of your life, make a change to head towards something new. Because with that key, we do see the idea of opening doors. So if there is a particular door that you've wanted to open for a while and you haven't gotten around to it, now really is the time to make that change and open that door for yourself, Aries. We do see the cross card as well. So for a lot of you, this may be a spiritual choice, a choice. I do feel like even if it's not directly spiritual, it will be something that you are spiritually guided to make this choice, this decision, make this change. So it's a change really more than anything. I did see in yesterday's All Signs reading, or the day before, sorry, the need for Aries to sort of start to make some choices in their life. So I would dare say these choices are leading to changes and opening new doors, or opening, doors that you want to open for yourself. But we do see that cross energy there. So there's this strong pull of destiny on this change for you as well. It's kind of like you following your destiny, Aries, and seeing where that leads you. All right. And like I said, with that key, it's all about opening doors to success. So what is it that you want to be successful in, Aries? Go ahead and open that door, because it's going to lead to success, and now really is the time to be making those changes for yourself. All right, so that's what we have for you today, Aries. So we'll move over to our Taurus. How are we today, Taurus? Just looking today at what's most important for you to know at this time. What does Taurus need to know, please? Okay, so we do have the sun energy first and foremost, Taurus. So a lot of happiness around you at the moment, or we're heading in towards happiness at the moment. But I do feel that this is letting you know that there's something that needs to be revealed, something that needs to come to light via a conversation. We do next have the birds card there. So it's kind of like, yeah, we need to have some sort of conversation that's going to shed some light on some stuff for you, Taurus. We do have the rider following that as well. So the rider is all about, bringing in good news. So I feel like this is you, Taurus, you heading toward someone to bring them good news, to tell them your good news, to, talk about something that has been revealed to you, and you know, it is a very positive something. It's going to be a very sort of enlightening conversation with a lot of forward movement for you from having this conversation, Taurus. A lot of happiness to be found. But it's really prompting you to, you know, if you are aware that there's a certain conversation that needs to take place, it's really prompting you to go ahead and have that conversation. It's a very sort of fortunate time for that conversation to happen. All right. So that's what we have for you today, Taurus. So we'll move on to our Geminis. How are we today, Gemini? Just looking today at what you need to know right now. Okay, Gemini, what does Gemini need to know right now? Obviously a timeless reading, so whenever you're watching this video, Gemini. Okay, what does Gemini need to know, please? The wheels of destiny are turning, Gemini. We do have the cross coming through there first and foremost. The cross is a more spiritually guided card. It does talk about following your destiny, those sorts of things. But, you know, I do feel as though this, for you, this may be talking definitely about some sort of spiritual meeting, a meeting of minds, those sorts of things, because it is followed by the garden. And the garden is all about, you know, meeting up with friends, meeting up with people on a similar wavelength, those sorts of things. So I do feel for a lot of you, this is some sort of spiritual meeting. You know, this could just be something like, you know, attending a church on a Sunday kind of thing. So it definitely could be something like that. And obviously this video being uploaded on a Sunday. So, you know, definitely for a lot of you probably could be, you know, going to church on the Sunday there. But that's actually going to bring around some really big changes for you in some way, shape or form. We do have the scythe there. So the scythe really does let us know that it's safe to break away from things that aren't serving our highest good. And you know, so for some of you, you may actually be finding that you're wanting to change churches, just for just maybe one or two of you there. So it's fine for you to break away from that particular church and move toward another one if you are feeling guided to do that, because, you know, this is all about destiny as well. So if you are feeling sort of guided to do that, go right ahead. It's a safe time for you to do that, and you know, look at new propositions, new places to meet your spiritual self. So definitely an option for a couple of you there. But, you know, it does really talk about, you know, sudden important changes coming through for you. So, you know, for some of you, this may just be, you know, related to an existing church type thing that you're going to. Like, obviously not necessarily church, you know, if you're not someone who goes to church, this is just somewhere where you meet your spiritual self kind of thing. So wherever that is for you. So, you know, I have a lot of friends who, you know, find that going to the beach and just sitting at the beach is, you know, that's their spiritual spot. Me, myself, I have a specific tree that I do like to go and climb and sit up in the tree. I am an earth sign. So, you know, so for you guys, Gemini, it could be, you know, somewhere air related, obviously. But, you know, things like the beach and a nice park or those sorts of things can also be, you know, spiritual locations for yourself as well. But, you know, making some big changes or going to that place is actually going to bring about some big changes, even if those big changes are just within you yourself. So maybe it's letting you know it's time to go meditate in your special spot. You know, if that's you. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a church, but it does sort of bring to light that kind of energy as well. But yeah, definitely safe time to be making, you know, any sudden changes that you need to make for your highest good. It's definitely a good time to be making those. Okay, Gemini. So moving right over to our Cancers. How are we today, Cancer? Just looking at what you need to know right now. Right now being, you know, whenever you are seeing this video, Cancer, it is a sort of timeless reading, this one. Okay, so Cancer, what does Cancer need to know, please? What does Cancer need to know right now? Okay, Cancer. So firstly, we do have the clouds. Okay, so this is talking about you being sort of stuck in your head, thinking, overthinking, possibly anxiety ridden, because you're overthinking too much at this time, Cancer. We do see also the key and then the crossroads. Okay, so the crossroads does talk about a decision, like a choice or a decision that you need to make, choosing which path to walk. In this particular case, it is sort of choosing which doors you want to open in your life, what doors you want to go through and explore the possibilities of, because we do have the key here. So that really does unlock aspects of yourself and unlocks opportunities within your life. So if you do have opportunities offered to you, you may have multiple opportunities with these two cards here, and it's kind of like you're trying to choose which one is going to serve you best. But with the key, it does also let us know that it doesn't matter which door you choose, they are all going to lead to success. It's just, the path may look different, each doorway. Okay, but it is a very successful card. For some of you, this may be showing that it's sort of job decisions coming up that you may need to make. It can talk about career. But with that clouds there, it's kind of like you're in a bit of confusion about, what choice to make, what door to open, what opportunities to take. So it's with that clouding your judgment at the moment, it's very important for you to stop overthinking and start following your heart, Cancer. Get yourself out of your head and don't allow you, because that's why you're in so much confusion. You're clouding your own judgment at this time. You are sort of overthinking things. You're working from your head space way too much when it comes to these decisions, these opportunities, this path that you want to follow in life. So rather than thinking it through, so to speak, like obviously think it through, but really ask yourself where your emotions and your heart is drawn to, and follow that path. Okay, because like I said here, no matter what door you open, there's success to be had on the other side of that. And it's just kind of telling us that just make a choice, Cancer. Just hurry up and make a choice. It doesn't matter which choice you make. It's the fact that you need to make a choice. Okay, so go right ahead and make a choice for yourself, Cancer. It is a very opportune time to do so, and like I said, you're just too stuck in your head at the moment, and it's clouding your own judgment and putting you're putting yourself into clouded sort of judgment and confusion and whatnot by overthinking things. Okay, so instead of thinking about it so heavily, and thinking about the logistics of everything, follow your heart. Even if your heart feels like it might be the hardest choice, to the hardest path, follow your heart. Okay, Cancer. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Cancer. So we'll move over to our Leos. How are we today, Leo? Just looking today at the most important thing for you to know at the moment. Timeless reading as well, guys. So whenever you see this video, okay, what does Leo need to know, please? What does Leo need to be aware of? What does Leo need to know right now? Okay, very interesting, Leo. I've got you here with the bear energy that does a lot of the time talk about Leo and Capricorn, because it is such a strong sort of powerful energy, that bear, but it is a very sort of nurturing mama bear type of bear, a very overprotective of its cubs. In this case, your cubs are your money. Okay, we do have the fish there, Leo, and the fish really does talk about finances, wealth, abundance, and you're sort of being very, very protective of that at the moment. So this is what you do need to be aware of, and I do feel as though that is the right thing to be. Okay, having very strong boundaries at the moment when it comes to financial decisions, being protective of your financial situation, whether you have $10 or $10 million, it doesn't matter. It's protecting what you do have, what you've earned that's yours. Looking after what is yours at the moment, Leo. It's important for you to look after that at the moment, because we do also have the fox energy, and the fox energy is about, you know, being really smart, being clever with your money. It can also be a money sort of card as well. So it really does talk about, you know, looking out for your own survival, the survival of you and your family, like, you know, your secular little group. You know, so it's really that self-survival mode, making sure that you are covered, even if you have to, you know, be a little bit crafty about, you know, hiding money from yourself, hiding money from, you know, people who might try to take money from you. It's just coming through that, you know, it's really important for you to protect your money and be really clever about how you are protecting your money at this time. So make sure that, you know, if you are you know, saving money or putting money away, that we are putting it in a safe, secure location where it's not going to, you know, maybe even researching, just being quite clever about where you're putting your money at this time. So, you know, not jumping into any risky investments or anything like that, you know, because they you know, I do feel as though they may not be in your best interest at this time. Your best interest at this time is to protect your money and hold it close to you, sort of thing. You know, have firm boundaries about how much you're willing to lose and spend and whatnot as well. So, you know, just be very, very wary, you know, of where your money is at the moment and where it's going. Okay, Leo, be protective of that financial situation of yours. Okay. So moving over to our Virgos. How are we today, Virgo? Just looking today at, you know, what you need to know at this time. It is a timeless reading, so whenever you're seeing this video, okay, what does Virgo need to know, please? What does Virgo need to know? Okay, Virgo. So we do have the masculine first and foremost. So I don't really like to genderize the cards, but this is definitely a person. You know, they are somebody doesn't, you know, it quite possibly could be a masculine energy or like a father type figure. You know, but like I said, I don't really like to genderize them. That is just coming through that for some of you, it's an actual masculine. But you know, generally speaking, this is someone who does sort of embody the more masculine stereotypes. Okay, so things like, you know, they're very stoic, they're very non-emotional, they're very sort of realistic, they think things through, they're logical rather than emotional. You know, they can be, yeah, very, very reserved, and you know, a lot of the time too, it does talk about that businessman type of vibe. So, you know, the boss, the dominant one, you know, those kinds of energies. So, you know, whoever that is to you, it definitely could be a female, you know, boss type energy, dominant type energy. There's a lot of those women out there, you know, or other as well. But it's coming through as the masculine energy. Now, what's coming through with them is the heart and the clover. Okay, so it's kind of letting you know, Virgo, that you know, that I do feel as though this heart, you know, it is obviously, you know, heart, love and romance and all those sorts of things, but I do feel as though this is that masculine coming in with their heart on their sleeve. So they may be a very sort of non-emotional person, but they are sort of taking a risk here with the clover to come in with their heart on their sleeve. So I feel like this is somebody coming towards you, someone external from you coming towards you, you know, with an open heart, with a lot of love for you. They are taking a risk to, you know, some sort of risk to head towards you and tell you that they care about you deeply. All right. So this heart is kind of like that unconditional love. So sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that it's romantic love. You know, this could just be a family member. Like I said, for some of you, this is a father figure. All right. So it might just be, you know, your father, you know, coming in and I'm getting the clover because, you know, for this person, they're not an emotional person. So it is a big risk to them to be emotional. So it's kind of, I feel like that's what the big risk is, that they're being a bit more vulnerable, a bit more emotional towards you, and they're sort of letting you know, I love you, I care about you, you know, I want to protect you and look after you, and you know, I do care, I do love you. Okay, so it's quite hard for them to sort of get it out, I think, but they do just want to have a bit of a you know, a loving sort of moment with you, I feel, Virgo. So that's what that clover is all about, that risk factor, taking a chance to, you know, share their truest feelings with you. For this person, it does feel like a huge, big sort of chance that they're not used to doing things like this. But for some reason, they do want to come in and let you know that they care about you. Okay, Virgo? Pardon, sorry. The clover can also talk about, you know, things like, you know, actual risks as well. So, you know, like we do see the heart there as well, though. So, you know, I really do feel as though that's just them sort of coming in with their heart on their sleeve. But, you know, it may be sort of in the guise of let's do something sort of manly, or I want to do something manly, like that's also coming through as well. Like, you know, let's go to the races together, or, you know, the horse races or something like that. You know, something involving actual gambling sometimes, you know, but it's kind of like this bonding moment, I feel. So even, you know, like, oh, taking bets on football or something like that, you know, and it's kind of how they're wanting to, you know, open up to you a little bit more and get closer to you, because they do care about you a lot. Okay, so that's what's, you know, the most important thing coming through for you today, Virgo. So sometimes these messages, they don't actually seem like, you know, they don't necessarily sound like the hugest, biggest thing coming through, but, you know, for that person, it obviously is a big thing, a big drama for them, because they're not emotional at all. So that definitely is a big thing for them to, you know, be a bit more vulnerable with you, and let you know that they do care about you. So for this person, you know, take that into consideration, Virgo. For this person, it is a huge thing. You know, even if it's nothing, you know, wild and crazy coming out in the cards today for you. Okay, but moving on to Libra. How are we today, Libra? Just having a quick look at, you know, what's most important for you to know at this time. All right, it is a timeless reading, so, you know, this time is whenever you see this video. All right, Libra, what does Libra need to know right now, please? Like, my earrings are, sometimes they're really picking up the light, and then other times they're just looking dull, aren't they? Libra, what does Libra need to know right now? Okay. So we do have the key coming through first and foremost. That's actually followed by the ship and then the book. Okay, so we're definitely seeing some sort of you know, new adventure coming in for you, and you're about to sort of unlock this brand new adventure in your life, Libra, because the key really does talk about opening doors and sort of, you know, unlocking parts of yourself that you haven't really explored yet. I do really feel that this is unlocking a big part of you that you have maybe not explored, unlocking, you know, opportunities for yourself when it comes to, it could be physical travel, so it could definitely be like, you know, you finally saved up enough money to go traveling where you want to go traveling, those sorts of things. But ultimately, I feel for majority of you, this may not necessarily be, you know, physical travel. It's just really unlocking a part of yourself that it's part of your adventurous spirit, Libra. So it's really unlocking a part of yourself that wants to start some big brand new adventure. The ship really does sort of, you know, start new journeys, new adventures, and we do have the book there as well. So that does talk about new chapters coming in for you. You know, I do feel as it's like your story hasn't been written yet, so you kind of wanting to rewrite that in a more adventurous type way. You know, I do a lot of the time reference the Choose Your Own Adventure storybooks with this book card, and that's exactly what you are doing Libra. You're sort of unlocking this part of yourself that wants to start some brand new adventures, some big journeys. Like I said, it may not even be physical travel, but this big journey could just be a big journey like within yourself of learning and experiencing. I do feel for a lot of you, this is just new experiences, and wanting to write some interesting new um, plot twists into your story, I feel. So we're kind of wanting to keep yourself on your toes a little bit and bring some adventure in and a bit of excitement in for yourself and some that sense of adventure. I really just am getting that sense of adventure and you sort of unlocking that. But you will have a lot of success with that, with this key at the start there. The key is all about success. So let me know what adventures you've got planned. I have a bit of an adventurous spirit myself, Libra. I do like to go on a bit of an adventure. As we saw a month or so ago, I did go on a big road trip with my son. That was like 10 hours each way road trip, and so we really do enjoy doing things like that, and we do go on road trips as much as we can, with things like school holidays and whatnot. We are a bit limited to what we can sort of do, but we do really like our adventures, and even just sometimes getting in the car and going up the coast and just checking out a new little town and all those sorts of things. It really can feed that adventurous spirit. Even in your local area. I know, it was earlier at the start of the year, I sort of went on a little adventure across some fields near my house to check out the old cemetery that they have here. There is a jail that it's a haunted jail right near my house, and so the cemetery that was sort of attached to that back in the 1800s. It's not far from my house as well, so I went exploring and checked that all out. Nearly fell in a few holes, but we won't talk about that. But I do. My point being, I do love a bit of adventure, and sometimes you can find a lot of adventure even in your own backyard. Okay, so let me know what you guys have got planned, Libra. I'm keen to hear all about it. All right, so moving on to our Scorpios. How are we today, Scorpio? And just looking today at what's most important for you to know at the moment. Okay, what does Scorpio need to know right now? Right now being pretty timeless, guys. Whenever you see the video, what does Scorpio need to know right now, please? Okay, we're getting two buildings coming out for you, Scorpio. So we do have the house followed by the tower. Okay, so you can see that these are both, similar imagery in this deck. Okay, we've got the house in the plant, and then we've got the tower on the island unto itself. So this lets me know that it may be important for you at the moment, Scorpio, to spend some time by yourself. All right, the tower does talk about solitude, not so much in this deck, or we do see the island all by itself there. So, but in a lot of the decks, we do see sort of like Rapunzel's tower, where you lock yourself up away in the tower and take some time to yourself to work through some stuff. And then the house energy, a lot of the time can talk about, the house unto yourself, your little bubble, your home space. So wherever you are, that's safe and secure for you. So a lot of the time I like to think of it as, your little bubble, your security blanket. When we're home, we do feel a level of safety that we don't necessarily feel while we're out and about out in the world. So I do feel for a lot of you Scorpios, this is you spending some more time at home, by yourself, just spending time. You may be having some things going on, with, because we do have the two building cards, there may be some, actual building stuff that you need to get done around the house. So there may be some working on the home type stuff that you're needing to get done, all those sorts of things. Like, But you'll know what these things are for you, Scorpio, because they're related to your wishes and desires. Okay, so if this is a physical thing where you need to do something to your house, it may be like things like, oh, I've wanted to get I've really wished I could get a house extension for years, and I'm finally able to do that, and so you're actually spending some time at home getting that done, and those sorts of things. For some of you, this may even be sort of, the purchase of a new home, those sorts of things as well, because, we do have wishes coming true for you related to this energy. But it's really you needing to sort of spend some time inside yourself, in a bit of solitude, and focusing on your security and in the things that help you feel secure and safe in this world, and the wishes that you do have, the hopes and desires that you do have around those sorts of issues. So, what makes you feel safe and secure in this world? What's your biggest wish when it comes to those sorts of things? And that they are actually sort of being fulfilled for you at this time. But it is important for you to take some time to yourself at the moment. But I am feeling for some of you, this is just talking about a past house. There may be some, for some of you, there's at least one Scorpio out there in the collective who, you've wished you've been able to buy your past family home. Okay. And that's what this is. It's like you want to buy a house from the past. So I don't know whether this is your past or just the past in general. So for some of you, this is a wish that's correlating to that. And it could also be like, because sometimes the tower does talk about things like, like some sort of, like an actual like tower, fortress, libraries, churches, public buildings, those sorts of things like museums and those sorts of things. So some of you may be sort of converting one of those places into a house. I feel that for some of you, this is definitely something to do with a physical house. Okay, so very interesting. But let me know in the comments if that's you, if you know that definitely is you, Scorpio, looking at doing something physically to a house. But for others of you, this is just letting us know that you need to spend some time by yourself, and while you're spending that time by yourself, actually stop and think about, what are my biggest wishes in this life? What are the things I desire most? Because they're actually really close within reach. So really sitting down and planning out, a really good time for manifesting and things like that. Sitting down and planning out what it is that you desire, and starting to take small steps to manifest that, and you will get those things, because the wishes card is all about fulfillment. Okay. So very interesting, Scorpio. Let me know in the comments. Moving over to our Sagittarians. How are we today, Sagittarius? Just looking today at what you need to know right now. Right now being timeless. This is a timeless video, so whenever you sort of see the video, guys. Okay, what does Sagittarius need to know right now? What does Sagittarius need to know right now? Okay, I just side note, Sagittarius, just for maybe one of you, some of the cards I'm seeing here, I just want to mention, I've got the Child on the bottom of the deck, and I do have, one of the sex cards followed by the pregnancy card. So just be wary of that, guys. Be safe. Protection. If you don't want a child in your near future, now, and you don't want a pregnancy in your near future, protection. All right, so that may not be for everyone, okay, but if that resonates for you, buckle up. No, but like I said, we do have one of the sex cards. This is the Snake, so it does talk about, a lot of passion and desire, ambitions. All right, it can sometimes, I don't really feel the deception coming through for you at the moment. Sometimes there can be a little bit of, deception or deceiving yourself can sometimes come through. Like it can sometimes be like, a bit of a snake in the grass type energy, but I'm not really getting that. But no, I'm kind of feeling as though if anything, it's like you've stopped any deception, any self-denial. You've kind of gotten through that. You've gotten through the temptation to deny things to yourself, and you've sort of seen the snake in the grass, and you're moving past that into the more passion, desire, ambition side of the card. And those passions are getting really stirred up here with the stork energy. Like I said, that is the pregnancy card. So it does talk about, the pregnancy, the gestational period of something. So this is really where your passions and your desires are actually stirring something up within you, making you realize, hang on, my true passion is actually laying over here, not over there where I originally was telling myself it was. And it's kind of you sort of starting to, really starting to gestate the idea of what your true passion is, where your true ambition lays. Really sort of starting to gestate the idea of that within yourself, so that you can sort of stir up this new energy. It's definitely stirring up something new in your life. At the moment, it is just sort of in that ideas stage where it's sort of just stirring up the idea of this thing, and we do see the tree as well. So the tree really does talk about self-growth, but I do feel as though for you it's actually talking about education and educating yourself. So you're really in this period of, like I said, where you're stirring up that energy. You're starting to have a lot of ideas about where you want your passion and ambition to take you, but now you're actually heading into, hang on, I need to research this, and I need to look into this, and I need to make sure I educate myself as much as I can about this passion, about this ambition, and how to actually achieve it. Okay, so that's part of the gestational period is learning. All right, so learning, how am I going to put this into action? So before we actually take actions towards our true ambitions, our true passion, we do need to educate ourselves, do our research, do our due diligence, get the knowledge that we are lacking in order to follow that true passion, or ambition type thing there. Okay, so whatever that is for you, that's different for everyone. But you've stopped lying to yourself about it. You've stopped. I feel as though you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, Sagittarius, because it's something that up until relatively recently, you've been telling yourself, oh, I don't want that, I don't want that, and now you're actually going, do you know what? I do want that, and I'm finally going to admit it to myself. You've kind of come out of that denial, and denial is a temptation, okay, that we can choose to take, of denying ourselves, what we do truly want. But now you're willing to sort of stir up the idea of that thing, so that's the first little steps towards the thing that you do truly want, is to start to stir up the idea of, but what if? But what if? All right, so you're really sort of starting on that journey. Okay, Sagittarius, and the next step is to do your research and get as much knowledge as you can, about how do we go from here, how do we make this go from an idea to a reality, and really starting to take those steps for yourself there, Sagittarius. So that's actually a really positive energy for you guys to be in. I really enjoy that. That's lovely. Okay, so moving on to Capricorn. How are we today, Capricorn? Just looking today at what you need to know. Okay, so we're looking at what you need to know right now. Right now being, whenever you do come across this video, it is a timeless video. What does Capricorn need to know right now? Okay, so a little bit more of a confronting message for you there, Capricorn. We do firstly have the snake, followed by the whip. Okay, so those two cards are sort of more negatively aspected, especially when they're coming out together. We do see the snake there, so it can talk about physical passion, but I really am feeling that in this particular scenario with the whip right there, it's talking about some sort of deception. It could be some sort of deception or betrayal, a temptation that causes you a lot of trouble. Okay, so if you if you know that there's a certain thing that you are tempted to do that's not in your highest good, it definitely could, for some of you, this definitely could be, you know, like a one night stand type thing, because it could definitely link up with that physical intimacy stuff with the snake there. It definitely could be that sort of a thing where, you know, where it's like you know that if you go and just have that one night stand, yeah, it's great right then and there, but it's actually not, you know, it causes you more trouble in the long term because it's not what you actually desire, and you're desiring something more than that. You know, that's not necessarily the case for you, Capricorn. I'm just kind of using that as an example. You know, but it's kind of following your temptation, following some sort of desire, or just sort of quick passion, you know, that you're kind of denying yourself that, I feel as though this is you in denial here. You know, it definitely could be deception coming from somebody else. But you know, it's quite possible that you're deceiving yourself as well, Capricorn, and it's causing a lot of trouble and tension for you. If this is somebody else, it could cause, you know, drama, fighting, you know, a bit of a challenging time coming in here with this. We do see, you know, with the whip there, you know, it's probably also important to mention that, you know, if you are someone who, you know, you're not in denial about the, when I was talking about the quick wham bam thank you ma'am connections, if you're not in denial about that and that is truly what you want, this could actually talk about that, in a BDSM type way. All right, okay, so just random, that may be only one person, but you know, it can talk about a physical interaction, you know, where there's that, you know, that the whip and the whips and chains and, you know, all that sort of fun stuff. Um, so that definitely could be the possibility as well. I don't want to dismiss that completely, because that is a possibility. But you know, I do feel for majority of you, this is you sort of deceiving yourself about something, and you already know that in the long term it causes you more trouble than good, and you end up sort of beating yourself up about it. So I do feel that for a couple of you, this is definitely that example I was using, where, you know, you're going out and you're just having a, you know, you're having a quick fling with somebody, and then you immediately regret it, going, why did I do that? I don't actually want that. You know, so don't deny to yourself what you do truly want. You know, and if you want more than a physical connection, you know, there's physical connections available to you at the moment. So if you want more than that, just be wary that jumping into that physical connection, it may just bring more trouble for you. It's some more drama just within yourself. This is just within yourself, I feel, for majority of you. But there is a couple of you where this is an external deception, someone trying to deceive you and cause you trouble, cause drama around you. All right, but the interesting thing is that the third card we have here is the key. Okay, so it's kind of like that necessary drama, that necessary fighting, that necessary trouble, because it's actually going to lead to this key energy, which is where it sort of unlocks a part of you that makes you realize, no, I don't want to walk through that door. I want to walk through this door, and I want to unlock this side of myself. And you know, because the key really does, you know, it opens new doors for us, opens new opportunities for us, and it leads to a lot of success. Okay, so it's one of those, you know, one of those things where it's like, screwed if you do, screwed if you don't kind of thing, Capricorn, because it kind of feels like you need to get through this conflict in order to get to this success from that conflict. So it's kind of like one of them little lessons that you need to learn, you know, to move on to the next sort of stage. I don't, you know, I don't want to sort of say, oh, be so confronting and say this is some huge big drama or conflict or anything like that, because it's really not coming through that way. It's feeling just like this could just literally be like a little spat, you know, a little spat at someone in the shopping center over where you park your car or something stupid like that. Okay, so it could definitely be some sort of conflict like that, you know, where, you know, someone's you're deceiving yourself, thinking, oh, my car's going to be fine parked there, and then you come back to the car and it's not fine, and you know, it causes a bit of conflict, and then you have to just you know, get through that. But then it sort of leads you to, okay, well, moving on. Now I can get on to this next energy coming through, because this is a separate energy. So it's going to kind of unlock new doors for you as well. So maybe it's that sort of thing where you have a, you know, like it's not, just as an example, it's not showing this at all, okay? But it could be like where you have a car accident and you're like, oh, it's horrible, I had a car accident, there's huge trouble in my life, there's huge tension and stress I've got to go through, but then it gives you the opportunity to get a new car. So, you know, it's that sort of energy where you've got to get through this little, it's only a little thing, okay? I don't want to come out and say it's a huge big drama or anything like that, because it's not reading that way at all. It's just reading like something really small, just like I said, a little spat or something like that. It might just be, you know, having a fight with a family member or something like that, you know, over you lied and told me you didn't eat the last biscuit, but you know, you did. So I'm just getting that randomly, that, you know, for some of you, and it's like, and then you go and unlock the fridge and there's a whole new packet of brand new biscuits. They buy you like a whole new pack. So it's totally something random like that, okay? But it leads to new opportunities, Capricorn. But I feel like you'll know it when you see it, all right? It's just some little trivial. It feels quite trivial, like it does feel like it's quite a trivial little conflict coming through there, Capricorn. But it's just, you know, one of them things where sometimes we, you know, you can't see the good days without the bad days. So it's just one of those things where you need to get through this little bit of bad energy to get to the good energy. All right. So that's what we've got going on for you, Capricorn. So we'll move on to our Aquarians. How are we today, Aquarius? Just looking at what you need to know at the moment, okay? At the moment being, you know, whenever you come across this video, it is a timeless video. Okay, what does Aquarius need to know right now? What does Aquarius need to know? Oh my goodness, Aquarius. Lovely. We do firstly have the heart, followed by the tree, and then the stars. Okay, so anyone that does watch my videos, you will know that these are some of my favorite cards to see in pretty much any reading, and you've got 3 of them right here. So starting with the heart there, that's like unconditional love, you know, love and romance, unconditional love, you know, obviously super happy, loving energy. But what we're seeing here is it's all about loving yourself. Okay, with the tree here, the tree is all about self-growth. So it's kind of telling us that, you know, the love that you have for yourself has grown, and you have sort of maybe, you know, start appreciating yourself in a brand new way. The way that you love yourself has grown a little bit there, Aquarius, which is awesome. Okay, you know, you love yourself, Aquarius, we all love you too. Okay, you know, but you know, it really is that, you know, and for some of you this could just be like learning more about yourself. It can talk about, you know, learning as a type of growth, like education, knowledge, your own inner wisdom, you know. But I really feel that for a lot of you this is, you know, your sense of love and the way that you love yourself has grown. Okay, so that's beautiful. And then we do see wish fulfillment headed your way. So if there is still any wishes that you do hold, when it comes to, you know, love for yourself, love, you know, the way that you love, the way that you receive love, you know, and you still do sort of have some sort of a hope or desire that would still continue to improve or anything like that, we that wish is coming true, safe to say. You know, if you're hoping for love to come towards you, you know, like I said, this is more about love for yourself, but you know, there's definitely the possibility there, you know, with both the heart and the stars there definitely is the possibility of love in general headed your way. You know, so for some of you too, this may be sort of family love as well. Like, you know, sometimes this can talk about the ancestral tree. So if you've been, you know, for example, if you've been wanting a parent to say I love you, Aquarius, because they haven't said it or something, like someone who, you know, there may just be someone who doesn't, you know, who's not very vulnerable and emotionally available. You know, they're going to come out and say that wish is going to be granted. Okay, so whatever love you desire, whatever love you've been hoping for within yourself, it's very close at hand, Aquarius. That's you know, a super positive message. I think you just needed to know, though, more than anything, that yeah, you have grown a lot with the way that you think about love and the way that you look at love. So well done, Aquarius. I love it. Okay, so sorry that wasn't anything more, you know, like dramatic or anything like that, but this is just what you need to know right now, and that is what you needed to know right now. Okay, so last but not least, moving on to our Pisces. How are we today, Pisces? Just looking at what you need to know right now. Okay, right now being pretty timeless, guys, whenever you see this video. All right, what does Pisces need to know right now? What does Pisces need to know right now? Okay, so Pisces, first and foremost, we do have the mountain. Okay, so this mountain, it does talk about delays and challenges. So you have had quite a lot of delays and challenges with relationships. All right, we do see the ring coming through directly after that. So there has been a lot of delays and challenges for you when it comes to relationships. These are not necessarily just love relationships. These are, you know, all different aspects of life there. But I'm kind of feeling here that with this particular mountain card, we do see the butterfly here. So you've kind of transformed all those obstacles into brand new opportunities for yourself, Pisces. I do feel as though you're like, majority of you are like right at the tippy top of this mountain. You've done all the hard work to get through all these obstacles and delays, any challenges that you've faced within the relationships around you. You have sort of done the hard work, you've persevered, and you've been quite determined to get through those, and you are now transforming all those obstacles into brand new opportunities for yourself. So keep up the hard work, Pisces. You know, the end is in sight. Once you get to the top of that mountain, you can see your way clear for yonks. All right, so and you can like slide back down the other side, you know, easy does it, back down the other side of that mountain. You know exactly which path to take once you get to the top, and I feel like majority of you are super, super close to the very, very top of that mountain. So what you need to know right now is don't stop. You know, don't stop that perseverance and that determination to keep climbing that mountain, because you're almost there, Pisces. You're about to transform everything. You're about to be able to see your way clear and see exactly what path to take from here when it comes to relationships. All right. So as we do see, yeah, relationships. It does also talk about cycles. You know, I feel it's important to mention, especially considering the reading we did see in yesterday's All Signs, which did talk about cycles as well, with the potential person coming back through that maybe just sort of, you know, giving you that opportunity to redo a cycle, you know, with love and those sorts of things. So I do feel that for a lot of you, you are going to be faced with, I don't really like to say it, but I feel like it is going to be a test for you, Pisces. You know, that you're going to be faced with someone where it's the exact same situation as what you've been through before, but a different face on the person. All right, it's a brand new person, different person. You may not have ever met this person before, you know, but it's gonna work out the exact same as how everything has gone in the past for you. And so it's kind of like a test for you to like not accept certain things, you know, not standing for, you know, not allowing that cycle to repeat itself with your love life. Okay, so I just feel that's important to mention because of that reading that we saw yesterday. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, that was in yesterday's All Signs reading. All right, the new love, next love reading. Okay. So, you know, I do feel that there is going to be an opportunity for you to sort of have that cycle repeat itself, which, you know, like to use the reference of that mountain card. If you choose to repeat a cycle, it puts you back down to the start of the mountain all over again, and you end up having to climb that mountain all over again. You're almost at the top, Pisces. So I kind of, you know, I don't really like outright saying what people should or should not do, because, you know, free will is a thing and all that. And I'm not here to tell you what to do. But Pisces, you're so close to the top of that mountain. Would it be worth it to just walk a few more steps forward? Or would you rather go all the way back down here and start all over again? And that's what doing this cycle over is about to do. But the news about that is very, very close. All right. So there's some sort of news coming through about that relationship possibility coming through very, very soon. That's the rider. Okay. So normally they bring in good news. So you know, I don't want to lie. This new connection, it may be under the guise of, you know, good news. They may be attached to some, you know, they may be a very sort of kind-hearted person. I'm not saying that this person is necessarily a bad person or anything like that. It's just the cycle, okay? The cycle that you have done already with whoever your last couple of exes were. Stop and look at the cycle of love within those connections. Is that something that you are willing to repeat? Or, you know, where do you need to put up boundaries when it comes to, you know, repeating that cycle? You know, what do you want to change about that cycle that you've been through in the past when it comes to love? Okay, Pisces, because it's coming through again, so I need to let you know about that. All right, but we do, yeah, like I said, have the rider. He comes in really quick. He's usually really nice, lovely dude, but I don't want to judge him, you know, badly. He usually has a lot of good news to share, but I feel like this is that person coming on through soon, giving you that opportunity to have a connection, you know, to repeat a cycle if you do so wish. You know, if you feel that you haven't learned all those lessons that you need to learn, and that you do need to go through some extra challenges in order to create even bigger opportunities for yourself, you know, you're more than welcome to go back through those cycles. I'm just sort of letting you know, be careful about which, like, you know, do you want the whole entire cycle, or do you want to, you know, break certain parts of the cycle and stop those certain parts of the cycle from repeating themselves? And that comes through in the way that we put up our boundaries about what we will and will not accept, you know, with the way that we are treated, with the way that, you know, we interact within a connection, all those sorts of things. All right. So sorry I couldn't end on a super positive note for you there, Pisces, but that's what has wanted to come through as the most important thing for you to know about at the moment. So obviously it is quite kind of important. This is the second reading that we've hit on that same energy. So, you know, let me know in the comments when you do sort of come across this energy, because quite a lot of you in the collective are definitely going to come across that sort of energy of a repeated cycle with a new face. So good luck, Pisces, okay? But thank you so much for your time today, and hopefully I will see you all again soon.